Hello everyone, this is Vedic Astrology 1-on-1 part 2. In the first part, we talked about the horoscope, how to draw a horoscope or a kundli, and we also discussed about each house of the horoscope and what does each of the house of the 12th house of the horoscope or a kundli represents and tells us about. Now in this part, we are going to talk about the planets. In Vedic astrology, we have 9 planets, out of which 7 are main planets and 2 are shadow planets. So we'll first look into the 7 main planets, and for discussion or writing about, we also write about 2 shadow planets for now. The first planet is Sun, then Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. These are the 7 main planets. After that, we have 2 shadow planets, which are Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu in reality are the northern and southern pole of the planet Moon. So in reality, these two are not as an planet as an body. These two does not exist, but are the northern and southern pole of the Moon. Thus, we also consider them as Chaya Graha. In Hindi, it is called Chaya Graha. In English, we can say shadow planet. So we'll first look into the 7 main planets, and we'll afterward talk about Rahu and Ketu. So for now, we will first look into some of the things which are represented by each of the planets. Now we'll first talk about the Sun. Sun represents your Atma. Atma means your soul. Your soul is represented by the Sun. If we are looking into the horoscope of a nation, the Sun tells us about king. Sun also represents the king or prime minister or president. If the main position or the powerful position or the decision making position of your country is held by the prime minister, the sun will represent your prime minister. If it is held by your president, the sun will represent the president. These are the things which are associated with the sun. Sun also signifies your father or the father of the person whose kundli it is. The body part with which the sun is associated with is bones. So when a Vedic or astrologic person will look into the person placement of the sun, he will get information about the bone of the person whose horoscope it is. So these are the things which are associated with the sun. The gender of sun is male. We'll look into the dividation of planets by different categories, and we'll also look into the dividation by the genders. We'll discuss it separately too. For now, we'll talk about we'll write that the gender of sun is male. We'll look into the dividation of sun of planets by different categories too. Now moon. Moon represents your man. Man, when we translate into when we look into man is in any dictionary, it translates into mind, but it is not the exact definition. So I will try to explain the concept of man. So for now, you need to know it does not mean exactly mind. Man is something which is joined or connected to your soul. The man is the part which makes the mistakes. The purpose of your soul is to be set free, is to achieve moksha. But because the sun makes because the man makes mistakes, your soul is not is not able to achieve moksha. This is the concept of man. Man in itself is not also evil in nature. Man is not evil. It is not evil. You may be thinking that man is something which is cruel. It is not true. Man is the nature of man is very impressionable or very gullible. It is very childlike nature. So it is very much impressionable of feelings like anger or lust, greed. It makes huge impact on the man. So due to this impacting the man commits mistakes, and which is making your soul staying in this world, which is making your soul to not focus on the moksha, because the man is uh, having mistakes due to for example, man is committing mistake due to the lust. So your mind is focused on the lust. You are not focused on your moksha. So this is the concept of the man. So for the understanding purpose, we will not write mind, but we will rightfully write mana in English. This is the exact concept of the man. So moon represent your man. Moon also signifies your or somebody's mother. Uh, the person whose horoscope it is, the knowledge of its his or her mother can be seen from the placement of the moon. Moon also signifies queen. When you are looking into the nation's kundli, it will tell you about the queen. Moon also signifies the body part with which moon is associated with is bones. Sorry, blood. If a person is looking into horoscope, he will. If a person is looking into the horoscope of other, he will get information about the person's blood from the placement of the moon. Moon also signifies your mood, or your uh, ability of interest. Ability of interest. That if uh, your focus is also, if you are focused or not, can be seen from the placement of your moon. The gender of moon is female. So these are the things which are seen from the placement of the moon in the horoscope. Now we'll move to the next planet, which is Mars. Mars signifies force or energy. These are the main things which are seen from the Mars. A person's force, energy, ability can be seen from the position of the Mars. Mars represent brother, brother or brothers. From the nation point of view, if it is a nation's kundli, it may represent your army or your army chief, like general. This can be seen from the Mars. The body part with which Mars is associated with is muscles. Muscles. The gender of Mars is male. So these are the things which are associated with the planet Mars. Now we'll move into the next planet, which is Mercury. We know that moon represent your man. So now when we are going to talk about Mercury, Mercury represents your mind. This is rightfully the representation of your mind. Your cognitive ability is defined, is represented or signified by the placement of the Mercury. Mercury is called in Hindi. It is called Budh. Buddhi. The planet Buddhi itself is translated into the mind. Your cognitive ability is your buddhi. So this is the right translation of mind. Mercury also signifies your sisters, as Mars was signifying your brothers. Mercury signifies your sisters. From the nation point of view, Mercury represents prince. The status of planes is signified by placement of Mercury, or the planet Mercury signifies the position of planes. The body part with which Mercury is associated with is skin. If a person is having problem regarding skin, the Ayurvedic person who is also having, if he is also having a knowledge of Vedic astrology, he will look into the placement of the Mercury in his horoscope to know about the problems regarding his skin. Mercury, the gender of Mercury is no male nor male, nor male nor female. Mercury is neither male nor female, neither male, neither male nor female. It is called Napunsak. In Hindi, it is called Napunsak, not defined. The gender of Mercury is not defined. Now we'll move into the next planet. The next planet is Jupiter. Jupiter represents happiness. Happiness. Jupiter also signifies the sun, even daughters. Mostly sun, but also daughter can be signified by the Jupiter, your lineage. Jupiter, from the kingdom point of view, it is minister. It signifies the minister. The gender of planet Jupiter is male. The body part with which Jupiter is associated with is fat. If a person is very having a big body or fatty body, it may be seen from the placement of the Jupiter in his horoscope. Or a person is having problem regarding fat, an Ayurvedic person who is also having knowledge about Vedic astrology will look into the placement of the Jupiter in his horoscope. Now we'll move into the next planet. The next planet is Venus. Venus, gender of Venus is female. The gender of planet Venus is female. It represent your desires. Your desires are represented by the planet Venus, or your aspiration. Your aspirations are signified by the placement of by the planet Venus. Now, the Venus also tells us about your wife or husband, your life partner. Venus uh, is also minister. It also signifies minister from the kingdom point of view. The body part with which Venus is associated with is sperm or egg. Sperm for male, egg for female. If you are, if a person, if a male is having uh, problem regarding reproduction, Ayurvedic person will look into the placement of Venus if for knowing about his sperm. If a female is having difficulty to know about her eggs, the quality of her eggs, or problem regarding her reproduction, the person will look into the placement of Venus. So these are the things which are signified by the planet Venus. Now we'll move to the last major planet, last main planet other than the shadow planets. We'll look into the Saturn. Saturn represents sorrow, dukh. Like Jupiter represents happiness, Saturn represents sorrow. Saturn represent also signifies your servants. Saturn, from a nation point of view, it represents subjects or public. The body part with which Saturn is associated with is nerves. If Ayurvedic person wants to know about the nerves of a person, he will look into the positioning of the Saturn. He will look into the planet Saturn. These are the planetary. These are the seven main planets. Now we will look into the division of planet by different categories.